Hello Star Wars The Republic players and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're checking out the new 7.6 update that's available in the public test server. So I'm gonna give you a quick look at some of the things that you can preview on the test server, including some of the new Cartel market items, new free mounts they're giving away, a comparison of two of my characters of how they look with the new graphic changes, and a little bit of dynamic encounters. So let's dive right in. So first off, in the Cartel market we have the mysterious Rogue armor set. Now I was really surprised with this armor set. I think it looks pretty unique. It dyes really well also, as you can see here. It has like this shine colors to it, but it's not exactly like metallic shine or anything like that. It's just very shiny to light itself. Here you can see other dyes effects. Now the neat thing about this armor set is that it has a jacket and non-jacket version, and as you can see, the shirt does dye differently from the jacket. So I'm gonna show you quickly right now here how it looks without the jacket. I love this personally. We don't get enough of these type of casual clothes that you just can hang out in an MMO environment, because sometimes you're not going into action, sometimes you're hitting a bar, sometimes you want to roleplay something more casual, and I think this shirt is really nice for that. And another great thing I like about this shirt is that it can pair well with other items. It doesn't have like this clipping issue that some of other previous Cartel market items do. You can pair up this shirt with any other belts, any other pants, as you can see here. So it's great handy to use on anything. So I'm definitely very excited to try this one out when it becomes available. Next up we have the Fearless Buccaneer weapon set. Here you can see the assault cannon. All of these weapons will have by default the purple color, meaning that you don't have to buy a purple crystal if you wanted to shoot purple. And here you can see it attached on the back, pretty tall one, so keep that in mind. Next we have the pistol. I think the pistol might be the one I like the most. There's a very unique design to it. If you are looking for something more cowboyish but modern Star Wars, I think it's a good mix there. If you're not too fond of the more cowboyish traditional smuggler weapons, I think this is a good choice for that. Here you can see how it looks on the sides here on the belt. It's a pretty long weapon, not too long. It looks okay to me. Next we have the vibroblade, which is interesting because we got a lightsaber and vibroblades here. Now these look nice, and even though they're not lightsabers, they still have like that purple reflection going for it. Unfortunately, while it looks cool on the back, it does clip with the armors. However, no matter which armor chest I put in here, it's clipping right now. Hopefully that's something they might fix in the future, or when it goes live, we'll see about that. But do keep that in mind. We have also the dual version of that vibroblade, which looks pretty cool but also huge on the back, but it doesn't have clipping issues, so I still recommend it if you really want a more big kind of weapon. It reminds me of those big weapons from Final Fantasy. Next we have the blaster rifle. Not too different, I would say, from the pistol, but it looks pretty nice. It does go on the back as well. Next we have the sniper rifle. This one has a bit more difference because it has that tube on the top spot of it, but otherwise it plays pretty similarly. Here's how it looks on the back, pretty fine as well. Next we have the lightsaber. As I mentioned, it comes by default with purple crystals, so it looks pretty neat. I think it's overall a nice looking saber. I don't think it stands out to me yet. Probably when we see Skeleton Crew it will stand out more for me. Unfortunately, I cannot preview how it sounds because it's not available for one to try in game. But yeah, still, it's pretty neat. And of course, there's a dual saber version. Also looks pretty great, although when it's not in action, it does look pretty big. But I think that's an overall issue with dual sabers in the game. Next, we have a new live day vehicle. I believe this was meant to be earnable during the event, but either way you can preview it here. I think this looks pretty neat. Interestingly, that it only has one engine instead of two, but otherwise pretty traditional with some Christmas gifts to it. Next we have the D5CO Droid, which will be part of that new decoration bundle. I can't preview how it looks active, instead you can preview how funny it looks walking around. I think it's a fun little droid. And also part of that decoration bundle is this one called the Baby Dianoga, which is also pretty well alive inside there, which is nice. And you can pair both of them together at the same time, running with them, because one floats and the other one's on the ground. As for other things we could preview, there is the Meirm Cicada vehicle, which is the one that you're gonna be able to carry a companion and a pet. Unfortunately, I cannot preview it just yet with a companion specifically or pets, but I already showed you in the previous video from the live stream how that looks in action. But I also found the Twitch Vulptilla, which is called the Amethyst Vulptilla, and I think this looks pretty cool. I didn't think it was gonna look as nice as it does in game. It's like darker fur, and then the purple is also pretty much darker. Like, it has the way the Vulptilla is just darker, it makes the purple stand out more, and I think that's really nice. I think it's definitely worth grinding those Twitch hours with this one. Lastly, but I think this is already available in the game, is the Vectron 249R Starbolt, which is part of the new $99 pack. It's pretty neatly animated. I like that there's so much involved into it, with engines down there shooting fire all the time. It's a really neat vehicle. So that was a quick rundown on everything Cartel Market or upcoming vehicles that they're giving away that I could find there right now. Now I want to move on to doing a comparison on the graphic changes for characters. So what I did here is that I took cutscenes on my Jedi Knight and my Sith Warrior, and I put them side by side to see the differences. My personal opinion on it, it's pretty mixed right now. I rather they didn't do this change, and the reason I'm saying this is because the change really looks different depending on the lighting. So sometimes it looks okay, other times it looks worse depending on the lighting. Depending on the complexions and head shapes as well, it can get worse. Like, there wasn't really enough times where I'm like, oh, okay, that looks better. And the reason I say this is because, yeah, some of my characters have these small glimpses of older eyes, bigger nose, and bigger mouths or smaller mouths. And the problem is that that small glimpse of those things, they no longer look small soft, but instead they're super detailed now and really pop out in the scenes. And I feel like that takes away the reason I picked those head shapes or complexions. I noticed this greatly on my Sith Warrior. As you can see here, it looks like he doesn't sleep at all. It also looks like he has Botox on his lips. In other cutscenes, it's not really as noticeable, but in other moments, it just is. And that's the problem with these changes. There's just moments specifically it's like, whoa, hold on. I also not a fan of how the necks look. I feel they're super detailed and they shouldn't be. I don't think anyone personally was interested in more details on the neck, so I don't know why they touched the rest of the body. I think it makes sense on the faces, that's a heavily requested feature, but the rest of the body, I don't think anyone was really desperate. Instead, it just becomes something that's distracting. And that's my case specifically with two human males. But I can do other examples as well. Like the Shis, for example, their skins just don't look the flat blue that they're supposed to look. They have instead all this mess of too many blue tones going on at the same time while trying to create texture on skin. And I made sure to express all of this in the official forum where they're taking feedback on this. But my personal suggestion to them was that if there's not an option to toggle on or off this new feature, then I would personally suggest that they delay it, because it's really going to impact a lot of players that haven't even opened the public test server yet to check it out, or players that don't even know that this change is coming, and then they will log in and see, whoa, their faces of their characters just don't look the same. I feel like it's a huge thing because people have been attached to their characters for many years, and I think it needs to be done more carefully. It is a shame, however, because overall I do think everything else in this update is great, and even the graphic changes on the planets, I think they look great. But this one does kind of sour the note of the update, so I hope they are able to address it in time. Speaking of dynamic encounters, I'm showing you here a little bit of dynamic encounters. I feel like it's hard to really capture the fun of dynamic encounters in video, but I think they're pretty neat. Here I'm showing you how the map looks like when there's dynamic encounters active. Here is the map of Huff. As you can see, all these markers are marking you dynamic encounters. You don't have to pick up a mission or anything like that. Is that these are live events going on in the map. I'm quickly showing you here how you are coming out of your Empire base and the Republic is invading it. So you're gonna see the Empire NPCs facing on the Republic, and you can join in the fight and help them during this dynamic encounter. And the dynamic encounter ends with this mini boss fight. Next, we also found Hidden Chain is invading the area. Again, you can see the Empire forces facing the Hidden Chain, and you have to assist them. You also pick up Arsenal from the Hidden Chain, among other things. And this one also ends with a mini boss fight. Now, there's other ones that are a bit more different gameplay wise, like this one for example, where you put on a specific uniform and go study lava on Hoth, on top of these craters that have been there for a long time, but they're actually going to have gameplay functions now. I'm not going to show you all of them, but there is a lot of variety in these dynamic encounters. So if you're looking just to spice up your gameplay, take a break from story, or want to try grinding armor sets like the Hidden Chain armor set, by doing the Hidden Chain dynamic encounter, you get a chance to earn that. So overall, I do think dynamic encounters are a really nice thing to add to the game. So that's a quick tour on some of the things I was able to try on the public test server. Unfortunately, there was not people around for me to try the new lair boss, but I'm hearing good things about that one. Also, I want to briefly say thank you to everyone who supported the last video. We are reaching 10,000 views on it, which is a new record for me on Star Wars The Old Republic videos covering, so thank you. And thank you to all of you new subscribers that we're about to reach 3,000 subscribers because of that video, so thank you. Anyways, that's all for today. I'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.